Tigers with a Saturday doubleheader. First up from Winnipeg, the Bombers welcome the Tiger Cats to Princess Auto Stadium. The Bombers thrilled to have Zach Collaros back, hoping he can slow down the East-leading Ticats, who are riding a 3-game winning streak as the CFL continues to honor Truth and Reconciliation Weekend across the league. Last week, despite having just 3 completed passes on 8 attempts for 54 yards, so you know they are happy to see this guy back. Zach Collaros returns to the lineup. Brady O saying he was extra sharp and extra dialed in this week. Both Levi Mitchell and the Tiger Cats, they clinched a home playoff game last night thanks to the Argonauts' loss, but still have a little work to do to lock up top spot in the East. Both Levi Mitchell hoping to lead his team to victory today and move Hamilton one step closer to that goal. A very fascinating matchup to kick off our Saturday doubleheader. Kate Burness alongside Enoch Mwamba and Milt Stegall as we get set for this one, and then a great game later on tonight as well between the Edmonton Elks and the Saskatchewan Roughriders. But Milt, let's take a look at all the players and who are you watching for today?
Kenny James Lawler Jr., better known as Kenny Lawler, making his return to Winnipeg, first time as a Hamilton Tiger Cat. And Kenny Lawler spoke of how he felt disrespected from the Blue Bombers, that they didn't offer him a contract till later on in the process. Well, he's doing his thing in Hamilton now, and he's looking to come back and have a big game. He helped these Winnipeg Blue Bombers win 2 Grey Cups, and he said he didn't circle this game, but he knew when this game came up, he was looking to have a big game. So Kenny Lawler is having a great season. He's going to try to continue that against these Winnipeg Blue Bombers. It's going to be a difficult task. These Winnipeg Blue Bombers in a tough place. They know they have to come out and play well, so that's the guy I'm looking at in this game, Kenny James Lawler Jr.
You know what? With the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, Milt, I might say something that a lot of Blue Bombers fans are thinking. They don't have a lot of trust in this team. And even though Zach Collaros is coming back, he's been up and down so much this year, and he hasn't been the same Zach Collaros that we've known him to be. But this man right here, Brady O, it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to balance the two of them. Obviously, Zach Collaros gives this team a better chance to win. But Brady O is a guy that needs to be involved. 299 rushing yards in the last 3 games alone. He's about to have, hopefully gets another 100-yard game. This is the first time that he's going to be able to do this for 3 games straight.
Right.
This is huge for him, but he needs to be involved for this offense to be successful.
Well, we know that Willie Jefferson, he's always ready for game time. Another sold-out crowd in Winnipeg. Dustin Nielsen and Paul Lapalese with the call next.
Get up off of that thing and dance to you better. Get up off of that thing and dance to you. Sing it now. Get up off of that thing and dance to you better. Get up off of that thing. Try to release that pressure. Get up off of that thing and shake the you better. Get up off of that thing and shake the say it now.
Teddy Brzezowski of PA Saskatchewan, this is your chance to win big thanks to Save On Foods' $1 Million touchdown to win. If kickoff is returned for a touchdown, you could win groceries for a year. If 2 kickoffs are returned for touchdowns, you could also win $1 million. Good luck, Teddy. Let's get you to Winnipeg. It's Dustin Nielsen and Paul Lapalese.
The first half of our CFL Saturday doubleheader brings us to Winnipeg for the second meeting in the last 3 weeks between the Blue Bombers and the Ticats. Hamilton won that game and roll into this game having won 3 in a row. Winnipeg sits 4th in the West right now, but is welcoming back a very important piece.
Yeah, I think everybody in Bomber Nation is very excited to see the return of Zach Collaros. 31-7 at home for the Bombers, and certainly going to get the over in completions today. Obviously, getting a guy who can throw the football very well. Bo Levi Mitchell, this is a great stat. 22nd straight start for him. Most in his career. 9 times this season he's thrown for 300 yards passing.
As I mentioned, the Ticats streaking right now. They won 6 in a row earlier in the year. They've won 3 in a row again. They are 4-4 versus the West so far this season. And Mike O'Shea and his team snapping a 3-game slide of their own last week with a victory on the road out in Ottawa. It is a beautiful Saturday afternoon here at Princess Auto Stadium. 22 degrees at kickoff. Winnipeg won the coin toss, will take the football, and we are underway in Winnipeg. Leggio gets things started. Thank you very much for joining us on this Saturday afternoon. It'll be Vavel. He'll take it just inside the 15, back to the 25, finds a little bit of space, gets the 50. How about this for a start? Vavel down to the 30, the 20 to 10. Gone! Touchdown Bombers! Vavel does it again!
Last week it was a club record 128-yard TD return. How do you start out the crowd and get them going? Beautiful return up the sideline. Great blocking on the inside and the outside, giving that lane. Very difficult for kickers to be able to tackle these athletes in space. Leggio couldn't make the play. Trey Vavel gets this crowd going, Dusty, nice and early.
Oh, he starts it with a bang. It's 98 yards. 2 kick return touchdowns this year, a punt return touchdown, and last week's missed field goal return touchdown. Vavel has burst onto the scene this season here in Winnipeg. Oh, Castillo blows it wide, and now that will be brought towards. Ball pops out. Winnipeg's on it. What an interesting start to this football game. Castillo missing on the extra point, and the officials a conversation right here.
Wide left trying to take this out. Well, the goalpost's on our way. We can't see it.
My rule, this is unsuccessful convert.
I know that's been a talk for a lot of people.
Has it? I wasn't aware.
I wasn't aware.
Very quiet week around the Canadian Football League.
And Trey Vavel, like, that's an amazing, what he's brought to this organization. You know, you go last week, what he did, you know, he had a team record in return yardage. So you think about, you know, this was an area of improvement they needed to do. They last year say, hey, you know, we've got to get better returns. This guy stepped on the field. It's been amazing. 128-yard return TD last week. Took another one back on the Lewis Ward miss for big yardage. And then obviously had this today.
There was a
big return to start the game.
couple earlier in the year that he almost broke, and you could tell then that it was going to happen. Since they lost Janarian Grant,
just going to
let Grant leave, they've been kind of looking for that guy, and they've certainly found him.
Lucky Whitehead did some last year. There's a lot of guys flipping through when they didn't re-sign Janarian Grant. Trey Vavel obviously has staked his claim to be one of the best in the Canadian football.
Well, and the guy on the other side of this game in Wooden, also 3 return touchdowns so far this year. They're going to drive this one low. Takes a bounce. Will be picked up and brought back up the near sideline. A little bit of room here for Moxie, and he'll be forced out just inside the 45. And now we can settle in and see a quarterback in this football game, and it's Bo Levi Mitchell.
Yeah, watching Bo the last couple of weeks, the thing that is so great to watch is his ability to find 4th and 5 in his progressions. And he talked about it. He's like, I love a game at the end of the line. I can get all the way through and find my checkdowns. I know where everybody is on the field. Get me in a position to win the game. I'll find all the guys and I'll make all the throws.
Leads the league. Yards, touchdowns. Trying to put together a 4th consecutive victory here for his Ticats. They will start it on the ground. Up just shy of the 50. Let's take a look at the Hamilton offense with Greg Bell in the mix again.
Quentin Barrow, what's he going to do? He's got to do a good job of getting Willie Jefferson's hands down. He's got to make sure he does something to prevent Willie Jefferson putting his big paws up. Greg Bell, over the past 3 games, 386 yards, 59 carries, best of the Canadian Football League. The run game is showing up in Hamilton right now.
He hung 137 yards on the Bombers a couple of weeks ago in week 15. 2nd and 5 from the 49. Back to Bell, and he's wrapped up and taken down Wilson makes the play, and that'll bring up a third down and a punting situation for the visitors.
Kyrie Wilson playing right in the middle of the defense. You can see right here. He just slips back behind. When Coulter Woodmansey is able to it's called backdoor, go behind the block and then adjust to make the play. Nice stop by the Bomber defense on 2nd and short.
Constantinu will await this snap just outside his own 35. Does Vavel have another one in him? He waits, and now he'll slide over to his left and take it at the 10. This time they'll wrap him up and take him down at the 15, and Winnipeg with a 6-0 lead will get the ball to Zach Collaros, back in the lineup for a Bombers team fighting for playoff positioning in the Canadian Football League.
Of Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, you have just won groceries for a year thanks to Save on Foods' $1 million touchdown to win. Congratulations, Teddy. If there's another kickoff return for a TD in this game, you could also win $1 million. $1
million sounds all right to me.
Excellent.
A couple of good returners here. A few cracks at that coming down the pipe this afternoon here in Winnipeg. Zach Collaros back, and important for him to look after the football, something we'll discuss as we work our way through the game today. They'll take Brady Oliveira out to the left. Zach looked in that direction. There's a flag as he runs out to his right. On the run, turns it out just outside the 20 before he's tripped down, but there is a flag, and it'll be a hold against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Looks like it's going to be a holding call.
Buzu Gakina Awia. We have holding. Winnipeg, number 61. We'll go back half the distance. We'll replay first down.
How about Ben Major here on the 5th orange shirt game in Winnipeg getting involved?
That was Gabe Wallace on that holding as Zach started to scramble, pulled the ball down, started to scramble.
Ben Major with the Ojibwe to get us started. They'll hand it off. Brady Oliveira, big collision as he rolls over Verasuk on the play.
Really nice play here. Watch Stanley Bryant. He's going to invite the end upfield and then go block the Will linebacker, leave the rest to Brady Oliveira on this draw play, invite the rushers upfield, and then Brady just goes ahead and says good morning to Devin Verasuk.
Brady Oliveira, back-to-back games with 100 yards, has never, it might be a little hard to believe, but he's never had 3 consecutive 100-yard games in his career. Empty this time for Collaros, 3 to the left, 3 to the right, throws down the field over the middle, drops it in there, and that'll be a first down for the Bombers. Jarrett Stearns back in the lineup after missing 4 games.
Spread the defense out, do it out of empty, and then try to send a player into the middle of the field. Jarrett Stearns, once he clears the linebacker, Zach knows that there's a space between the linebacker and the deep safety. He throws it with anticipation. It's a great recognition and great throw by Zach.
From the Winnipeg 38, back to Brady again, spins it ahead, takes it outside the 40. Let's take a look at the Winnipeg offense this afternoon.
Still talk to players. Stanley Bryant, 15th year in the CFL, the leadership in the building, calm, cool, collected, great football player that leads them. Jarrett Stearns draws back up in the lineup after we just saw that kid. Ontario Wilson moves to X with Carrick Weefall out of the game. Stearns got 4 touchdowns on the season this year.
380 yards, 4 touchdowns, 35 catches coming into the game. Chalk up another one there for Stearns. And Winnipeg 2nd and 5 from their own 43. Into the middle of this defense again, and that'll be pushed ahead. Perseus gets involved in another first down for the Bombers.
Julian Hauser has been a very good defensive end for this football team. Tied for third in the CFL with 7 sacks. Kyler Fisher, Iowa player, draws back into the will linebacker spot of a couple of injuries. One of the most athletic players on their defense, and a game-time decision. Jamal Peters is out. Zamari Walton, 3 tackles, Week 11 start versus Sask. He draws in.
He's out of Mississippi. Gets a chance to step in for Peters today. Another quick hitter, this time to Dembski. And Kolaris has the Bombers marching already early in this one with a 6-0 lead.
Good recognition of softness on the defense. Takes the ball, throws the ball right outside to Dembski. Katsantonis has covered him from 12 yards off. Get a 6-yard route, take the football, see the contour of the defense, and just, I don't care what we got called, run, pass, whatever, get the ball to Nick Dembski's hands at 6 yards.
Strong start to the game for Kolaris in his return. Fakes the handoff, rolls to his right, looks down the field, throws down the field! Got it! What a catch! What a throw! Dylan Mitchell! Touchdown Bombers! His first with Winnipeg!
Mitchell gets behind the defense as Zach pulls the ball and gets the ball on the perimeter, and he's going to look downfield. Good block by Brady Oliveira to make sure Zach can go, and he takes the deep shot. Beautiful location right over the top of Deshaun Amos. Amos has good coverage, but it's a great throw. Great catch by Dylan Mitchell. First touchdown on the season. Great touchdown.
Castillo missed the one earlier, and this one he sneaks through. Winnipeg goes on top, 13-0. What a start to this game for Zach Kolaris. 4 of 4, 88 yards. That touchdown pass to Mitchell completes a 7-play, 93-yard drive. Bombers all over the Ticats early.
Really good scheming. Get a corner route with a curl route, and we get somebody in the flat. And you got to read the coverage. If you watch Deshaun Amos, he bends inside. Pause it right there, guys. With him inside position and the corner low, they have no opportunity to make the play on the corner route for the touchdown. So whether that corner's got to be higher in that quarter of the field, or they just got to get over the top of that corner route. Nice throw. Great play by Dylan Mitchell, right to the hands of Amos for the touchdown.
Wooden will take this inside his own 10 and returns it to the 30 before he is taken down by Michael Ayers with his team-leading 17th special team tackle of the year. Here's Bo Levi against the Bombers a couple weeks ago.
Did a very good job checking it down. 21 of 28, you can see right here. A lot of misdirection plays, getting the back involved. Last week, Greg Bell was a leading receiver on this football team with 7 catches. So not only is he the best deep ball thrower in our league right now, but he's also checking it down, putting the ball in other people's hands to get him more opportunities to take those shots downfield, Dustin.
Finds himself down 13 early in this one. Bell clears out to the left. That's where Bo's going to throw. Drops it in there at the 35. Takes it up to the 40. That'll be just shy of a first down. Let's take a look at the Bombers defense.
Tied for first on the football team. James Waters with 3 sacks for this football team. Tony Jones, he's going to help stop the run. Second in the CFL with 86 defensive tackles this season. Having a great year. And last week, used his instincts to record 2 interceptions. Cam Allen.
There's 17 sacks for this Winnipeg defense. That's last in the league. That'll be pushed ahead.
And let's go back to talk about Bo Levi Mitchell. The first play of that drive was a slug. It was a slant and go to against the field corner. It was covered. Bo didn't like the picture, so what he did, he threw it to Greg Bell for a 9-yard gain. So those are the things I think he's doing so much better. And he talks about it when we interviewed him this week, like just understanding, hey, I'll take my shots when they're there, but I'm also going to get the ball in productive players' hands underneath. That's why Keandre Smith's got some of the most yak yards in the Canadian Football League. Everybody plays deep on Lawler, gets in the next guy to go.
Lawler in the slot down to the right of Bo. They'll hand it off. Greg Bell takes it out to the Hamilton 45.
Good stop defensively here. The Bombers going to get a lot of Greg Bell in this football game. As we talked about, the run game at this point of the season is really important later the year. You see both Saskatchewan and Winnipeg try to make sure they can run the football to get into the playoff run.
Jamal Woods with the tackle for that Winnipeg defense on Bell. They'll send 4 here. Bo gets it away. And that'll be a first down as he goes to Shamar Bridges, who had a big year last year, but with Lawler and White and Keandre Smith having pretty good years this year, Bridges flying under the radar a bit.
Yeah, Shamar, when they get the ball in space, it's hard to make that tackle out in the space. He's the underneath player. As the corner gets depth, what you're going to do, you're going to throw underneath the corner, and it's too much space for Dexter Lawson to make that tackle. Just fall forward for the first down.
Ticats looking for a response drive here early. Near sideline. Mitchell drops it in there. And Kenny Lawler gets involved for the first time today, working against Demariel Houston.
Predetermined, knowing what's going on. Kenny Lawler in a one-on-one situation with Demariel Houston. If he's a soft off-coverage player, you call this free access. Just throw it to your best receiver on the sideline, on rhythm. Let him catch it and get a first down.
On to Winnipeg's side of the field for the first time today are the Ticats. They'll hand it off. Big push ahead. Litre takes it down inside the 40. His first touch of the ball game.
As Litre returns, this guy's a jack of all trades. You've seen him run quarterback sneaks. You've seen him do a bunch of different run plays. A little bit change up the pace, hand the ball to your fullback. It's the same tight zone play you run with your tailback, but you try to break some tendency there, giving it to your fullback.
6 yards for Litre on first down, 2nd and 4 for Mitchell. 3 options out to his right, looks in that direction, nothing there. Looks to the left, throws to the left, and that is broken up. Trying to find Lawler, but Houston got there just in time.
As Bo looks to his right, doesn't find anything in the zone coverage that he likes. He starts to scramble, was about to take this ball upfield. You see him looking, didn't find anything, starts to escape as he climbs, sees Kenny just a little late with the throw because Houston drives it, almost gets the interception.
This will be a 47-yarder for Laggio. He's only made one longer than this once this year. He's hit 21 in a row. This is from straight away to get Hamilton on the board. That is up, and it is wide right. Favre will bring it out again, trying to find the sideline. It'll eventually be contained and hammered down by Brian Cole, but a rare miss from Mark Laggio in his old stomping grounds here in Winnipeg. He's 95% on the year. And he pushes this one wide right. Welcome back to Princess Auto Stadium. Lapo, I don't want to simplify it too much, but 7 wins, plus 10, 7 losses, minus 19. Look after the football, right?
Obviously, Zach Collaros, he's got 14 touchdowns this year, but 13 interceptions. They cannot turn the football. I don't care what happens in this football game. You win the turnover margin, you're going to win the football game, give you the best opportunity. And they're facing a team that the Hamilton Tigerettes lead the CFL in turnover margin. They're plus 9, I believe, first in the Canadian Football League. They've got to protect the football to win today.
Ticats have scored 98 points off turnovers this year. That is 22 more than anyone else in the league.
One of the strengths of Zach Collaros is his ability to see pictures and get the ball out of his hands. This throw to Wilson is on time, fast, immediately, without laces, throws to this dead zone as the halfback goes high and carries with the underneath route. Just a great throw by Zach. And going back to that turnover, they've just, 2 weeks ago, Streveler had, it was an amazing play, Jamal Peters, but that was a pick 6. They just can't have those critical errors in situations where they need an opportunity. And here's Chris Streveler on 2nd and 1 for a short yardage play.
Straight up the middle. Eventually, they'll pull it down. That'll be a first down for the Bombers as Zach will trot back out onto the field here. Collaros is 5 of 5 so far today to 5 different receivers. He's got all 5 of them involved early.
Who gets lower usually wins this battle. Streveler gets his shoulders down, keeps his feet moving. Easy to drive him off with a yard off the ball. Good first down for Streveler.
You stay with me?
Pretty amazing. This team won last week with 3 completions. The last time that would happen was 1975.
Dial it back a little bit. Brady Oliveira stuffed as he tried to take this up the middle. Philip Osai there to make the stop.
One of the things the Hamilton Tiger Cats, you talked about, Brent Munson said, hey, we're 7th against the run in the Canadian Football League, but we have gotten better at stopping the run. We've done a couple of things in the past couple of weeks to make sure that we can stop the run as we head into the playoffs. You see Brent Munson right there, defensive coordinator. You can see it. They do a lot of different things with that first play. They had extra men at the line of scrimmage, so every offensive lineman's covered up. It's difficult to run and get off on the linebackers, and you see his easy tackle for the linebackers the last.
A throwing down here for Zach, right over the middle, back into the hands of Mitchell, and a first down for the home side.
As the Will linebacker starts to expand, what Zach's looking at is, all right, as soon as that Will leaves, I'm going to throw this curl before Stavros Katsantonis can drive it. The Will leave, the weak side linebacker, and if the ball is on time, it's very difficult for free safety to get there and make the play. Nice catch by Mitchell, because you know you're going to make a catch and get hit.
Mitchell with over a 90% catch rate so far. Back to him again. Tackle made by Walton, getting the start at corner. That's close to another first down.
Great short. Great vision once again by Zach. You know, Hamilton getting a little frustrated. You saw some pressure here. There was a zone blitz on the front side. It's going to leave an area that's available for an easy throw. Zach sees the blitz right away and gets the ball once again to Mitchell.
2nd and inches, so Streveler back into the ball game. Look at move the sticks. This time they're going to roll him to the right, looking to throw, and he finds Dembski. Dembski down inside the 40 as Winnipeg mixes it up a little bit and gets a big chunk instead of just the inches that they needed.
And the streak starts over again. Dembski with his first catch of the game.
Coincidentally from Streveler.
So what happens here with 2nd and 1, what I want you to see, they've got a deep safety, and you're always trying to figure out, if I put extra people, can I outflank the defense quickly? And this is something you want to do on 2nd and 1, because you're going to convert it on 3rd and 1 anyways. So have an option for the quarterback to throw the ball on the perimeter. The worst thing that happened, you throw it away and you go for it on 3rd and 1. Great play calling there on 2nd and 1, taking a shot.
Collaros. Brady Oliveira's got it, turns it up, first down, Winnipeg again. Oh, might be just short. We'll see where this ball is spotted.
Brady Oliveira can be utilized in a lot of different ways. He's going to come out, the receiver's going to come down, he's going to go set a rub and go high, and then Brady's going to go in the flat. It's going to be difficult for the linebacker to break out of here. You see Fisher gets kind of rubbed on that play. Hard for him to go cover that, and it's especially good when it's a linebacker and a defensive back. They're not going to be able to switch off.
Streveler again, this time no messing around, right up the middle, first down Winnipeg.
And that's the beauty of having Brady Oliveira, a guy who catches the ball so well. You can leak him out in the backfield, create some confusion, but run your base pass games.
47 catches coming into this game this year for Brady, almost 500 yards through the air.
Bombers this whole quarter have had great yardage situation. This is their third 2nd and 1. They've been in a bunch of second and short situations. Zach's seeing the field well.
Collaros now 8 of 8 for 130 yards and a touchdown already in this football game. He'll have 3 options out to his left. He's going to look down the field, thought about the end zone, sends it in that direction, got it! Touchdown, Winnipeg, Dembski! There's a flag on the field, back at the 30, and we'll see if this one is coming back or will it stand. It is coming back. A hold against the Bombers.
Deep curl for the touchdown. Extra offensive lineman in. We'll see where this hold is.
Legal block, head to the face. Winnipeg number 65. It's a 10-yard penalty. We'll replay first down, but it's the end of the quarter. It's going to be second quarter.
To Ali, you'll see up top. If you watch, right there with his hands, he cannot. The right tackle is in he's playing an extra tight end. He just can't be in a position where you put your hands up and through the face mask of a defender. Not allowed to do that. Difficult penalty to take.
Very impressive start to this game for the Bombers. They lead 13-0, and they're within striking distance for a little bit more. Great attendance once again here in Winnipeg for the 5th annual Orange Shirt Game. For more on this, let's send it down to Matthew Shinetti.
What a beautiful day, Dustin. I'm so pleased to be joined by Exchange Income Corporation representative Mike Pyle and Grand Chief Garrison Satie, who represents so many nations here in Manitoba. First to you, Mike. You just talked about it. What a beautiful day. And it's our obligation as Canadians when it comes to Truth and Reconciliation Day to acknowledge so many First Nations. But the joy, the love that you're feeling in this place, how important is a day like this?
Today is so special. We started off this to give our youth in the northern communities a sense of hope. In some of those communities, there's not a lot of jobs, there's not a lot of things, and we wanted them to see what was available. And what better than the best football league in the world, watching the best team in the world on a great sunny day. If you see the looks of those kids' faces, they've got eyes as big as loonies. It's just a great day.
Speaking of that, Grand Chief, just behind us in the southeast corner, in sections 116 and 117, we have over 1,000 kids from 52 communities all across the country. Many of them experienced such a traumatic summer with the wildfires. What does a day like this mean to them?
This is very, very important to our people, to see our young people come to be part of something like this. It just lifts the nations that are represented, and after all they've been through, this is something that's very inspiring, life-changing, and this is true reconciliation. What we've done here is bring a lot of these young people that have never been in an atmosphere like this, and to see that is really overwhelming, and also that it's unprecedented. True reconciliation works here, and we continue to work with Winnipeg Blue Bombers and UIC, making small miracles happen.
And is there anything that you're working on right now, Mike, with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers that you want to tell people as we continue this path of reconciliation?
Well, one of the great things that have come out of this is new football fans in the north, and as much as we've got 1,000 kids here, that's not all of them. So we've started a program in bringing the Bombers to the north. Milty's come up with us. Doug Brown promised me today, as long as the current roster of players and Mike, the coach. So it's not just in Winnipeg. We're taking the CFL to the north.
Incredible. Thank you so much for this, both of you. Thank you. What an incredible day for those 1,000 kids in attendance. They'll never forget this one.
Yeah, let's get a couple of touchdowns and throw the ball into that crowd of orange kids and make sure they get a nice souvenir as they go through. It's just great for them to come to this beautiful building, and it's just great that the Bombers do this year in and year out.
Winnipeg driving in that direction right now. Good shot. You can see all of the orange shirts and hoodies up in the end zone there. It's 2nd and 6 from the Hamilton 16. And Collaros will have Brady Oliveira in behind him. Dembski in the slot over to his right. Looks to his left. Dumps it off to Brady. Too high. Incomplete. First incompletion of the day for Collaros. And that'll bring up a field goal attempt for Sergio Castillo.
Little coverage here. Zach didn't really like what he saw to the field. Varasek is in man coverage on Brady. There's zone around everything else, but they're manning the back to make sure Brady doesn't get those easy checkdowns. just forces the ball a little bit high. I think that's going to be an easy tackle if the catch is made.
Castillo, 86% on the year, but he's 22 of 22 from inside 40, so he's been automatic in these situations so far this year, and he is again as he puts it through. And early in the second quarter, Winnipeg on top by 16. Ticats will look to turn things around here. But an important day here at Princess Auto Stadium. Orange shirt day, both teams in the orange jerseys before the game, getting ready for this one. Bo Levi Mitchell, Zach Collaros. I don't know what else I can really add to what these two guys have done. Future Hall of Famers for sure. For more on these two, back down to Matthew Chenet.
As they get into their mid-30s, Dusty, Zach Collaros calls it staying on task, and Bo Levi Mitchell said it's less mojo, less bravado during the practice week. Maybe that's them mellowing out a bit, but when they know the headline is Zach Collaros versus Bo Levi Mitchell, well, it's a completely different feeling, really, when you look back to the 102nd Grey Cup in BC back in 2014. These guys have been measured against each other, and this week, and remember, Lapa, what they said, Zach Collaros said it's like being the guy who wants to hit the home run, and Bo Levi Mitchell is also a baseball head. He talked about himself, though, being the closer, being Mariano Rivera, but it comes down to this. When Bo Levi Mitchell looks across the way and he sees Zach Collaros, he says, when I see that dude, I know I might have to put up 30, 40, or 50. He might have to do that today, guys.
I think one of the biggest things you take from these two players, why these two players excel at the game of football, they are as competitive quarterbacks as I've seen in this league in a long time. Very competitive dudes.
Mitchell steps up, dumps it off. Leach pushing it ahead, close to a first down. This will depend on the spot.
A lot of moving parts here. There's a fake to the tailback. There's a fake to a reverse. And then there's a shot downfield you're going to try to take. Not going to happen because protection breaks down. But what you got to understand is it's okay. Just get a completion. Put yourself in 2nd and 1. That's what Bo Levi's doing such a better job. The shot ain't there, taking the quick throw.
Dolagala, 2nd in inches, and the big fella just lunges ahead to pick up the first down.
And I think if you go back to the Bo Levi Mitchell conversation, Dustin, you think about, Zach Collaros plays a little bit for the Toronto Argonauts, and then the Hamilton Tiger Cats organization in 2014 decide to move on from Henry Burris and sign Zach Collaros as their future leader. That's an amazing thing. And obviously what Bo Levi's done in his time in Calgary, every time you played Calgary, you knew that you're going to have to get in a shootout with this guy who loves taking the ball downfield and making plays. And like you said, ball in his hand at the end of the game.
From his own 52, a ton of time. Now he's going to scramble a bit out to his right. Can't find anything. Finally, his running back, Greg Bell, comes back to the ball, and they'll get some positive yards.
See this catch on the sideline. Bo's trying to look downfield. They cover the back out of the backfield. An adjustment by the Bombers, having a linebacker cover the back man-to-man, maybe because he had 7 catches last week. Nice catch on the sideline. I can tell you, 2nd and 5 and 2nd and 10 is a world of difference in the Canadian Football League. So nice play by Bo here.
Yeah, this is going to be a challenge. I don't think this is a catch. I think Bell's feet were out of bounds.
Okay, we will see.
When he caught this ball, I think Osh is probably going to win this one.
Oh, definitely. We will see the catch right on the sideline.
Winnipeg is challenging the ruling on the last play. They believe it should have been an incomplete pass. The play will be reviewed.
So the outset of the play, you're looking deep, then you come back down there. You see the catch is made. The right foot is already on the white. No other foot in bounds. So I think this is going to be a quick overturn.
This could be the quickest review of the year here, I think, Lappel.
We will see. He's got control, but is it any part of that foot touching the white?
right, they've taken a look at it. Here's the call.
Upon further review, the ruling on the field is overturned. It is an incomplete pass. It's going to be 2nd and 10 for Hamilton.
Now, last season, there was a change to the rule committee last year. Did put in you can catch the ball with your foot in bounds, and then if the back of your foot touches out of bounds, it's still a catch. But everything about that catch was touching the white, so out of bounds.
Wipes the completion off the board to Greg Bell. Leaves it at a 2nd and 10. Here in Winnipeg, Bomber crowd trying to get behind his defense. Mitchell trying to get through the defense. And he finds Smith on the far sideline, and that'll be a first down for the Ticats. First catch of the day for Keandre Smith.
Good vision. Kenny Lawler's on the outside. What does he do? He clears out, and then Keandre Smith runs the out to the sideline. If the corner lifts, just throw it to a spot. Everybody's giving Kenny Lawler all the attention. Keandre Smith makes the catch underneath.
Backhats work for the Winnipeg 46 Bombers. Just sent 3, now a 4th. Mitchell down the field, looking for Lawler. Not this time. Double covered. I thought Kenny might have a crack at it.
Dexter Lawson using great recovery speed after he gets beat. This is a shot play after the first down. Give an opportunity for Kenny to make a play behind the defensive back on the double move, but his recovery speed, the ball's a little bit underthrown, puts his hands up as Kenny goes to get his hands in that spot. Great play using his hands, and also not, sometimes when you get beat as defensive back, you get worried and you start to grab and pull. Great recovery speed, great anticipation, make the play.
Mitchell dumps it off to Bell. Gets away from a tackle. Looking for the first down. Got it. Dives ahead inside the 35. And Greg Bell making that play happen after the catch.
One of the biggest things you have to do to play in the Canadian Football League is be able to make plays in space. Just watch right here. We're going to have these two players. Keep an eye on what's happening right there. As the back goes out and swings, Bo doesn't like the throw, gets it out to Tony Jones, but it's a lot of space. You can't make that play in space. Bell's going to turn that into a huge play.
Mitchell with time. End zone shot. Far side. Incomplete again. Looking for Lawler. And he could not hang on. Lawson Jr. there again.
Top of your screen, let's go ahead. Link these two players. Watch what's happening. A little bit of a double move here. Starts to raise up. That's a curl and go. Trying to get Lawson to stop his feet. Just underthrown a little bit. Taking a couple of shots on the outside. The one thing Bo talked about this week is like, you know what? I'm going to feed Kenny Lawler. I'm going to feed Kenny Lawler. I can't believe he's already in his career high for touchdowns. Like, that guy should have had more touchdowns every season. I didn't take a shot at that since I was his OC.
This snap bobbled sitting there. And Bell saves on. Saves the day by hopping on it.
Very difficult for this mistake to happen because that takes them probably out of field goal range. They're in field goal range when this happens. Just see if anything just snaps off a little bit. No, just a bad snap. Takes them out of field goal range, unfortunately. Well, we'll see what they do. They're going to try a long one.
Wow, this is interesting. Leggio has not attempted a field goal outside of 50 all year. This is a 55-yarder. Not much wind right now. Oh, a deep, deep shot here for Leggio. Just inside that left hash. Constantino to hold. And that kick is up. It's got the line. Does it have the leg? Off the upright and in. Oh, just enough for Leggio. How about that one? get on the board. Was it enough? Was it enough? Was it enough? Doink! And in. Well, here's another look at what goes in as a 54-yard field goal, longest of the season for Leggio. And it just had enough. He's having a phenomenal year. He had hit 21 in a row. That streak ended a little bit earlier. Look at this 95.1 lap. How about that?
The other thing that makes this such a pressure kick is the guy, if you miss it, last week at 128-yard return, and he's already had a kickoff return. So that's a lot of pressure, a long field goal. Hats off to Leggio making that, starting to streak over with a big 54-yarder.
Winnipeg up by 13. Will have the ball on their 40 after the field goal. They'll hand it off to Brady Oliveira. Can't really find a way through that defense, but still picks up 4 yards on the first down carry. 5th carry of the game for Brady. Winnipeg last week snapping a 3-game losing streak, finding their way back into the win column. One of those losses on that 3-game slide, obviously at the hands of the Ticats, 32-21 back in week 15. It'll be empty for Collaros this time. 3 to the left, 3 to the right. Looks to the right, throws to the right quickly to Dembski on second down. Dembski tackled from behind, but the push is enough for a first down for Winnipeg.
Hamilton not allowing Zach to do anything, but hey, if you're going to line up an empty, we're going to bring one more than you can protect. There's 6 rushers. One quick. Hauser's coming off this edge as fast as possible. The ball has to be out. It has to be accurate. It is. It's a little bit too much space for Dembski. Gets the first down. Hamilton trying to pressure Zach Collaros on second down.
3rd catch of the game for Dembski. Now Oliveira right up the middle, finds some space, finds a first down inside the Hamilton 45.
Love it. When you pull 2 offensive linemen, this is a gap scheme. What that means is one guy's going to kick out and one guy's going to pull around, and you're trying to create a seam right here. Brady finds this, good kick out, and then Stanley Bryan up in the hole is able to make the block on the second level. Brady gets a big gain. Good split by the defense. Good run game inside by this Bomber. First in the CFL run game.
Untouched for 10 yards. Zach throwing this time, finds Stearns. Stearns breaking a couple of tackles, or at least bringing them along for the ride, and he's down to the 30. What you love about veteran quarterbacks, the halfback's going to go high, the corner's going to be low. Garrett Stearns is just going to be in a position where he just runs a curl route. Zach knows it before the ball snapped, that the halfback went high. I'm just going to go ahead and throw that ball underneath to get first downs on first downs. That's crucial for offenses to have success in the Canadian Football League. How many yards do you have on first downs? Ticats are going to bring a little bit of heat this time, and it's there to stop Brady essentially at the line of scrimmage.
Brent Munson trying to change up what he does. One of the conversations we had with him, you saw Stubblefield come off that edge, see some pressures. And I asked him, are you doing a little bit more defensively? Zach Collaros says, you always Rolodex and call different things. He goes, actually, I did early in the season, but I'm trying to turn it back and just let my players play fast, play with speed. Sometimes we get in trouble when we do too much to their package. Whatever he's doing, it's really working. They don't give up a lot of touchdowns, and they get a bunch of takeaways.
Rely on those natural instincts?
Yes.
A little bit from this group. Collaros, pump fake, on the run. He's in trouble, gets it away down the field, throws it out of bounds. And it'll bring up 3rd and 10, and Castillo back to work for Winnipeg.
Another opportunity, if you watch, Hauser's over here. You have extra players on this side of the field. You have defensive backs here, so you're dropping people out. The line slides in one direction, creates a hot on the other side for Zach. Zach doesn't see it, so that is some of the misdirection Zach talked about you will see from this defense. Showing a lot of people at the line of scrimmage and dropping people out where the O-line blocks to.
38-yard attempt for Castillo, and that one is up it through 19-3. The Bombers in full control at home so far here at Princess Auto Stadium, where they are 4-2 on the year in front of their home fans.
Welcome back to Princess Auto Stadium, where the Winnipeg Blue Bombers are up 16. And Lapo and Dusty keep an eye on Kenny Lawler. He's on the field right now. Keep an eye on that physicality from the Bombers defense, because the Ticats training and medical staff sure is. I was right by the end zone on 2 of those pass deep attempts, and he was getting a ton of contact from the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. And when he came off on the Ticats sideline, guys, he's spending a lot of time with that Ticats training and medical staff. He's out there, but something to watch.
Something to keep tabs on for sure. Good to see him out there right now. It looked like his head might have taken some hard contact on the ground. A couple of deep shots. It's funny on those catches. They would have been spectacular catches, but I almost expect him to make them. Like, wow, how did he not get that one? It seems weird. Here's Bo, far side. There's a flag as this is caught. Brought ahead by Smith. Takes it out on the other side of the 55, but Willie Jefferson is waving. That one's coming back.
I talked to Keandre before this game, 5th in the Canadian Football League in yak
Holding
yardage.
Hamilton, number 59. It's a 10-yard penalty. We'll replay first down.
We talked about Quentin Barrow up the top of the show going against Willie as he goes across these defensive ends. You'll see our right tackle right here as he ends up going across. As he fans out to take the linebacker, as the linebacker Tony Jones comes out, as he fans out, he just grabs on and holds. Can't do that. It's going to be a holding call.
Drops him back 10 along 1st and 20 here for Bo Levi. A ton of time. Nothing. Now he's going to take off with a little slide with Wilson lurking in front of him.
The hard part about playing this Bomber defense is so many different personnel groups can jump in. Right now you see almost 3 defensive linemen rotating in. And when you drop a lot of people in coverage, they're just going to rush 3. They're going to say, Bo, if you want to rush, but we've got all these different guys on this side of the field in coverage, it's going to be very difficult for you to find an underneath player. And then you say, hey, we only rush 3. Bo will slide eventually and keep it 2nd and extra.
Lost a yard on the last play, 2nd and 21. Puts it in the hands of Chernowski, who takes it out just beyond the 40 before he's tackled by Nichols, among others. And Hamilton will have to kick it away with 3 minutes on the clock.
Good win on 2nd and extra. Most offenses will not try to stay on the field too long. They're not going to force any bad plays. Take the underneath and get them off the field.
Bombers comfortably on top as we hit 3 minutes.
Say it with me, gentlemen. We love talking about Trey Valvels. We're going to do it at halftime. Zach's return and what's going on with Bo and Kenny right now. And plus a great game a little later on. Sask and Edmonton. We'll tee that one up. Coming up at half.
Valvels the star, no doubt about it. They'll be breaking down his opening kickoff return. Coming up at halftime, and he waits for this one again. Constantino hangs this one way up there. Valvel couldn't get there, and that'll bounce out of bounds just outside the 35. Canada's top home cooks are ready to battle it out in the kitchen. A new season of Master Chef Canada, Thursday, October 2nd on CTV. Stream the next day on Crave. Well, Hamilton comes into this game averaging 30 points per game, 2nd in the league. Yet here they are, held to just 3 so far by the Bombers, and Bombers with an offense that have controlled the ball for quite a bit of this opening half. Gonna be flags here. One of the Winnipeg receivers definitely came across the line early. Not sure which one it was.
Zach.
Offside, Winnipeg number 10. We're going to decline the penalty.
Dembski here.
It's going to be second down.
The ball snap. Dembski's a yard offsides a little bit. You can be on the line of scrimmage. You cannot be past the line of scrimmage. Zach's taking the shot on the outside to Wilson. Just an early penalty for Nick. A little bit close on his waggle.
Ticats will decline it, set up a 2nd and 10. Dembski will come in to protect for Collaros. Collaros in trouble, has to throw it away. Brady Oliveira watching it, lands in front of him. And it'll be a quick 2 and out for Winnipeg, and Bo will get the ball back with 2.5 minutes to play in the half.
A little bit more pressure. A little bit more pressure going here by the Ticats, trying to show up and have a lot of people dropping out. You'll notice linebacker here. There's going to be extra people coming here. Linebacker's going to drop out. These two are going to twist. There's just a lot of different pictures that the offensive line's got to see. The twist is handled, but the outside defender is not. Forces a quick throw by Zach. A lot of different looks on that Rolodex Zach Collaros talking about.
Yeah, machine low driving kick, bounces at the 31. Wooden will take it. Flag flies, and he makes a couple of nice moves. Takes it back to the 35. This one will be coming back a little bit further, I believe.
Great crossfield. Great crossfield kick
Hamilton
there.
Hamilton number 32. It's going to be a 10-yard penalty. It's going to be first down for Hamilton.
You don't want Isaiah Wooden to get a big return, so sometimes instead of letting him get underneath it, you kick across the field, put it right on the sideline, and then at the bottom of the screen you can see right there the block in the back. Right, looks like rookie Mac Bannatyne on that one, but just excellent job by the special teams, kicking away from your returner and drawing the penalty.
Mitchell and the Ticats offense backed up from their own 10, just over 2 to work. They'll start it on the ground with Bell. What a burst, takes it out, stays on his feet all the way, just shy of the 40. Biggest play of the game for the Ticats offense.
Good reach. Will linebacker blitzes off the edge. The right tackle does a great job of blocking out. Quentin Barrow does, and it leaves nobody on the second level for the outside zone to Greg Bell. Huge escape from backed up.
30-yard pickup for Bell. Back to him again. Found some more space and another first down for the Ticats.
Bell coming off 2 weeks ago his career high 20 for 156 yards. You see him good blocking and really good. We talked about Barrow blocking out, creating that seam for Bell to run back inside when the will expands out of the box.
Empty for Mitchell here. Down the field, finds Smith inside the 40. And a Ticats offense that has been stuck in neutral for the entire first half finally comes alive.
Nice catch by Keandre Smith in front of Cam Allen, free safety with 2 interceptions last week. Bo recognizes softness, nobody covered him, gets that throw underneath as these guys now line up to be in tempo to finish in the end zone.
Mitchell 8 of 12 for 94 yards. 90 seconds on the clock, second quarter. Winnipeg will bring Tony Jones up the middle. That gets picked up. Mitchell gets it away. Finds Smith, who's pushed out of bounds. Just short of a first down. That'll be 2nd and inches.
Underneath throw, you're going to have a dig high. You're going to have 2 digs, and Keandre Smith on the underneath, trying to hold the underneath coverage. Everybody lifts to cover the 2 digs. Throw it underneath to Keandre Smith. Like I already talked about, 5th in the Canadian Football League in yak yards. Let him run with the ball as everybody carries everything else.
2nd and inches, no Golagala this time. Mitchell stays out there. Wants to throw. He will throw towards the end zone. Too much. Trying to find the former Bomber, Brandon O'Leary-Orange, who had some separation but couldn't get there.
Whether the sun got in it, He ran a corner route just to the back of the end zone. I don't know if the sun got in his vision, whether he could see it. But once you see Holm with his shoulders turned, you should have a good opportunity. Just a little bit too much on the throw. Yep, just a little bit too far off. Second and 1, quick shot.
Bolagala, 3rd and inches, gets about 3 yards and takes it down to the 25 with 1 minute and 11 seconds remaining in the half.
Now, really smart here with 1:11. What you would love to do here is you're in field goal range right now, Dustin, but can you run enough clock to still score a touchdown but leave the Bombers no time? That's what you're trying to do in this situational football, right? You want to score the touchdown, but you also don't want to give the Bombers a chance to kick a field.
That clock ticks down to 1 minute. Back in the belly of Bell. Finds some space, takes it down inside the 15. Oh, has he come alive on this drive for the Ticats?
Brendan Revenberg, Brendan Bordner, Coulter Woodmansey, really good movement at the point of attack. You can see Woodmansey right there, driving, creating lanes for Greg Bell.
Mitchell looks to his right, throws back to O'Leary Orange, and he's stuffed just shy or just inside the 10. And that'll bring up second down with 41 seconds remaining.
Bose at the line of scrimmage will continue to call plays at the line of scrimmage. So he has enough time to not only play fast, but also take a look at the coverage. They want to change calls.
2nd and 4 for Mitchell. Smith, slot to his left. Kenny Lawler one-on-one against Lawson Jr. at the top of your screen. Bowl going to take off. Wrapped up and taken down by fellow veteran Willie Jefferson.
I believe this is a quarterback draw. But you don't see. Bo does have a bunch. Once he sees them leave, he's going to go. But Willie Jefferson is on a twist. If you see Willie Jefferson as he... It's going to be a good play if Willie Jefferson is not rushing back inside. Willie Jefferson's in a position to see it. Otherwise, you might have had a quarterback draw for a touchdown from Bo Levi.
3rd and 4, no field goal coming here. Time ticks down into the first half. Mitchell looking to find the end zone for the first time today. Smith will slide over the slot to his right. Bo looks to his left. Bo throws to his left. Deflected and incomplete. A flag at the end of the play from the far side of the field. And you see Dietrich Nichols saying that ball was deflected on the way in. Looked like Willie got a hand on it at the line.
We're trying to take a look and see from this end zone shot whether the ball was tipped. I believe it was definitely.
The ruling on the field is that the forward pass was deflected. Therefore, there cannot be defensive pass interference. There's no flag on the play, and it's the end of the half.
Willie Jefferson, once again, it's not just about sacking the quarterback. This is a team that is worse than the sea about sacking the quarterback. But again, leading pass knockdowns. There's another one. Creates the stoppage of you can't get the penalty when you knock the ball down. Great play by Willie Jefferson. Good stop by the Bomber defense.
15 knockdowns on the year coming into this game for Willie. Tacks on another one there. And the Ticats leave the half with just 3 points. This game started with a bang. Trey Vavel does it again, and he's standing by with Matt Shinetti.
Okay, Trey, that's 2 incredible kick return touchdowns in as many weeks. Take us through this one today.
Just trusting the scheme. Coach Mike, he said I was going to be there, so trusting my blockers, you know. Saw the seam, just hit it, and just ran, you know.
You're starting to get a sense of what it's like to be a Blue Bomber when it comes to crunch time this season. Obviously, your return really sparked this team. Take us inside the locker room. What's the mentality of this team at this point in the season?
Hey, every day we come into work, that's all it is. Hey, come off and win, just straight to work. Work every day, you know what I'm saying? Just trusting in each other, you know. Everyone sees the L's and losses, you know what I'm saying? But we're not scared of that, you know. It's not really facing us. We just come into work every day. We're not 100%, you know, trusting each other, playing Blue Bomber football at the end of the day.
Appreciate this. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Well, Kate, you can feel like at crunch time in the fall, the Bombers have got something going. They're up 16.
They certainly look like they do, Matthew Shinetti. Back alongside Enoch Mwamba and Milt Stegall, and we get to talk about Trey Babel. Does everyone say it like that, by the way? It sounds like a perfume or a cologne at this point.
You think so, huh?
I absolutely do. You know what, Matthew's right, though. I mean, this is as many weeks as we've seen it. But the 2 interviews we've seen from him as well, too. He really trusts his blockers. He trusts everyone. He trusts this process. And you know what? He should. Because right now, he is by far one of the most exciting players in the CFL. And to do it, and he makes it look easy at this point. But to start off a game, to have a sold-out crowd, that's exactly what you want.
And I know there's 3 or 4 games left in the season, but let's go ahead and give this man Special Team Player of the Year. And maybe, as Kate mentioned, Rookie of the Year.
Let's do it.
They're going there,
There's been some inconsistencies with these Blue Bombers over the season, but it hasn't been Trey Babel. He's been consistent all year long. Only CFL player in the league right now with a punt return for a touchdown. He has 2 kickoff returns for a touchdown and a missed field goal return for a touchdown. He's done it all for this league. He's even stepped in for the Blue Bombers. He's even stepped in when they need somebody at cornerback. He's been a special find for this team and a big reason why this team is in the position they're in right now. They needed to come out in this game and get rolling right away, and Trey Babel did exactly that, returning that opening kickoff for a touchdown. So kudos to this young man. He's done a great job for these Blue Bombers, and as I mentioned, CFL Special Team Player of the Year and probably Rookie of the Year.
And the theme of this weekend, we're seeing a lot of big-time quarterbacks coming back to their teams. We saw Davis Alexander yesterday. Today, we see Zach Collaros, and boy, this team looks different. He just brings a different sense of confidence to this offense, and you saw how he started 8 for 8, 130 yards and a touchdown. I mean, he's just comfortable with the offense. You can see him getting out of the pocket. Perfect play right there. Perfect offense always beats perfect defense. Deshaun Amos there had a chance at the ball, but the ball was so perfectly placed by Zach Collaros that he couldn't even get a chance to touch it. Mitchell was one of his favorite targets in his first half, and he did an amazing job of just finding the ball, finding his spots, and Zach Collaros didn't miss. He found him every single time. Brady O also got involved in the game. They have a really good balanced offense right now, and Zach Collaros is the main reason.
Great start for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. When it comes to the Hamilton Tiger Cats right now, Milt, you mentioned it at the beginning of the show when you said you think Kenny Lawler's going to have a big game. He's trying to have a big game. I mean, the one where it was double coverage and then he had to contort his body a little bit and come back. I mean, that's a tough one. And obviously, you don't love seeing his head hit the ground as well, too. But just hasn't been able to connect with Bo so far in this game.
Yeah, they haven't been able to connect. Bo is trying to get him the ball 4 times. And people are going to say, well, he's trying to force him the ball. Well, receiver like Kenny Lawler, you're not forcing the ball if he's double or triple covered. He's made these catches week in and week out. Unfortunately, he just hasn't been able to make it today. That Winnipeg Blue Bomber defense is doing a great job. It's some tight coverage on him. But I guarantee you when they come out in the second half, Bo is going to keep trying to get Kenny Lawler the ball because he knows that he's his big play guy and they need to score some points. And Kenny Lawler has scored more touchdowns than anyone in the league this year, so he needs to try to give him the ball a little bit more.
You know, when we were debating, too, what should they have done at the end of that half, too? I said take the points. You said go for the first down. Enoch was like,
quarterback draw, okay?
Not a quarterback draw at all. Enoch's like, 3rd and 4, go for it every time.
That's you.
A little later on, Week 17 wrapping up from Edmonton, where the Elks welcome the Rough Riders. Saskatchewan coming off a bye. Edmonton returns home after those 2 heartbreaking losses in a very interesting depth chart when it comes to these Saskatchewan Rough Riders, because we are seeing some stars back here. Sam Emilus is one, and Sean Bain Jr. is the other. I mean, it's a plethora of talent when it comes to these receivers. But what are you expecting at this point in the season, Enoch?
Oh, man, I'm looking forward to see these receivers coming back, of course. Right. I'm excited to see actually this ground game attack right now. We're gonna see the guys on the ground. You got Rankin on the ground for the Edmonton Elks. You got AJ Ouellette, obviously, for the Saskatchewan Rough Riders, the guy that stabilizes their offense, and Rankin energizes that offense. And we see how he's been able to do that for the Edmonton Elks. But it's going to be interesting to see. I know you're going to be looking to see this air attack over there, Milt.
Yeah, Trevor Harris, he got a couple of his weapons back. Sean Bain Jr., who's getting his first action for the year. He hadn't stepped on the field all year long, and we'll see how he fits into the program. And also Emulis. He's played 4 games this year, but he hadn't played since week 8. And I know when you come back and you've been off for a while, it's difficult to get back into the offense. But having a veteran quarterback like Trevor Harris definitely helps out. As you mentioned, they're going to try to probably ride A.J. Ouellette, but those 2 guys are going to get back in the offense and make an impact right away.
And you know what? The crowd should be a factor today in Edmonton. You know what? I love saying that. Over 30,000 expected in Commonwealth Stadium. And look, the last time we were there, it was against Calgary Stampeders. And they have something at home. So I think this game is going to be absolutely fascinating. And for the Saskatchewan Roughriders, they have not lost 2 in a row so far this season. We'll see if they can bounce back. You can see that one tonight going 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. But of course, we have an earlier game to finish up in Winnipeg.
Welcome back to Princess Auto Stadium, where the Bombers lead the Ticats 19-3. 3 points in the first half. That's the fewest by the Ticats all season. Their quarterback, Bo Levi Mitchell, stands by with Matthew Shinetti.
Oh, plenty of frustration brought by the Winnipeg Blue Bombers defense. What was the talk in the locker room at halftime?
No, I mean, it's the frustration of ourselves. Like, we gotta understand the environment that we're in, right? It's a loud crowd. Get into the huddle, make sure you hear everything, communicate out to your guys. Just stop kicking yourself in the foot. You know, just go out there, make your play, stick to your details, and we'll be all right.
Thanks for this.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Just 3 points in the first half for the Ticats. Here's a look at what Bo did. He was 10 of 16 for 112.
Some early checkdowns. No explosive football plays. The Bombers have done that, but giving up the underneath throws, rally up to make the tackles, keep them off the field. You know, one area for the Ticats has been a very positive. Greg Bell, 6 rushes, only 64 yards, but a 10.7-yard average. Get him a couple of more runs. He's got 3 10-yard runs. Get him involved, and don't worry about the pass game that the Bombers are dropping everybody in. Get Greg Bell involved. And Kenny Lawler, 1 catch, 11 yards only so far in the first half.
Tried him on a couple deep shots, could not connect. Bell had a total of 86 yards in the first half, on the ground, in the air.
As we talked about at the top of the show, Winnipeg, 0 turnovers in this first half. Zach Collaros doing a good job protecting the football, key to their success.
Castillo boots it away. We're underway here in the third quarter. Second half, it'll come down to Wooden. Wooden trying to find a little bit of space. Cuts it back. There's a flag on the far side of the field as he's tracked down eventually from behind, right at midfield. He could have broke that one free. Could have got interesting, but there is a flag back by the 25.
They're in a return, illegal block. Hamilton, number 24. It's going to be a 10-yard penalty and a first down for Hamilton.
Robert Pannerbaker on that call. We'll see if we can find where that is. Field return or back up inside. I see Paniker in the field. They just didn't see the penalty.
It's going to be first down, Hamilton, at the 8-yard line.
It's a long way to go here. Really backed up. Last time they're in this situation, he had a big return. Greg Bell had a big run to flip the field and get him out of this difficult field position.
Yeah, that one went for 30 yards. An uphill battle for the Ticats to climb in the second half. Mitchell throwing, finds Litre, and Litre will push it out close to the 20. That'll be a first down for the Ticats as they move the sticks here early.
Love Litre. Get the ball in space. Can do everything. Run, block, QB sneak. Outflanks the defense, get the ball in the space, right? Give him an opportunity to run. It's a first down on first down, flip the field.
Ticats want to move things quickly here to start the half. First and 10 from their own 19. They'll give it to Bell, pushes it out close to the 25, pickup of about 6 yards for Greg Bell.
If you watch Woodmansey and Revenberg They're driving and creating this seam in the defense. So as Bell goes, as everything pushes, he starts to go, and then he finds the cut neck lane. As everybody displaces defensively with the back winds it back and gets vertical. It's going to be a positive yard play. The linebackers are there.
Bombers sent 3 on the second and 4, now a fourth. There's White. White broke one tackle, stays on his feet, and eventually be taken down just outside the 35. First catch of the ball game for Tim White.
Yeah, quiet day for Tim White. Ball out quickly. Good recognition by Bo. Get the ball to Tim White. And the quick little hitch route as the defense expands.
Tim White was targeted 10 times last week. That's his first one today. Decent start for Hamilton on this drive. White and Waller to the bottom of your screen. They'll hand it off. Good tackle made on the play by Woodbay.
Woodbay falling back in as he plays contain on the quarterback. Gives Bell an opportunity to get 5 yards. Running as Woodbay comes off his edge spot, playing kind of a hybrid role at times, being a defensive end from a linebacker spot.
A 2nd and 6 for Mitchell. Bridges up to the wide side right. That's where they're going to go. Catch is made, not a first down. It's going to be 3rd and almost 2.
Trying to hit that field slant. A little bit low for Bridges. But he makes the catch, which is key. As long as he makes this catch and survive, gives you an opportunity for Scott Milan to decide whether or not we're going to go for it on 3rd and 1.
3rd and the full 1, maybe even a little bit more. Mitchell stays on the field. This would be a huge momentum swing if the Bombers defense can find a way to get the stop. They'll hand it off to Bell. Bell trying to push ahead. This is close. Needed to find the 47. And they're going to need to measure it. This place will erupt if the Bombers manage to make a stop. Let's find out.
Interior lineman Jamal Woods did a really good job creating, making the back move his feet.
Oh, that is.
But it is, I think,
just enough.
But barely.
Just enough.
See Woods at the bottom of your screen. He forces it, the back inside. Smart. Greg Bell, shoulder square, just keep pushing and pushing and pushing the shoulder square to get that half a yard that was needed.
They got it by just an inch or 2. Keeps this early second half drive alive for the Ticats from their own 47. Mitchell, now a deep shot, down the field, looking for Lawler! Broken up! Houston finished the job, knocked it out of his hands when it looked like Kenny may have done the unthinkable again.
The body control of Kenny Lawler is amazing. His ability to high point and find balls from behind is what makes him special. He's got Houston beat. He sees a little short, but he makes the catch. But then Houston gets his right hand involved. And as he gets his right hand involved, Kenny can't survive as the ball hits the ground. As he hits the ground, the ball comes out. He must survive contact with the ground. Great play by Houston, getting his hands up and inside.
Sold out crowd. 12 straight at Princess Audio. The one last. Mitchell taken down. Flatters gets there for his 4th of the year.
just a speed rush on the outside. Running by Brandon Bordner. Bordner gets kind of knocked off by the interior defensive lineman. And when you hold the ball too long, sooner or later the pass rush will get there. Great rush by Vaughters. His 4th sack of the season. Leads his football team.
Venable forced out. Hauling that one in on the kick from Constantinu. And James Vaughters finds his way home for his 4th sack of the season. Leads the team in that category. Zach Collaros returning to the lineup after missing a couple of games. I thought he looked pretty good in the first half, Lapo.
10 of 14, 71%, 150 yards, 1 touchdown. The big thing, though, 70% on second down conversion against this defense. It does a lot of different things. You see Strevler gets in on a 2nd and 1 there. But I think Zach talked about it. I got to make sure when they flip to different coverages, different things, I'm on point and I can see it. I think he is right now. And he's holding on to the football, keeping it away from that Ticats offense.
That first half, the best the Bombers have looked in quite some time, I'd argue. Hand it off to Brady, stays on his feet after a little trip coming through the line. A nice pickup on first down on the ground for Brady Oliveira, who had 48 yards in the first half.
And when we talked with Zach about his ability, one of the best things about Zach is when you talk football with him, he knows what he's talking about. This is a great run by Brady. Watch the balance here. Low center of gravity, keeps his balance. But like Zach talked about a bunch of football terms when we were in our interviews, right? He said, hey, I got to be ready for shark and whale. I got to be ready for show fronts. I got to be ready for 5-1 defenses and all these things. And again, I don't want to explain all those terms, but he lives in the world of a coach. He loves the game, talking the game, and understanding how to defeat teams.
Back to Brady again, trying to find 3 more. He's got it. First down, Winnipeg.
Good physical play at the point of attack.
Ticats defensive end. Double size down on the field. Training staff will come out to take a look at him. We will step away from Princess Auto Stadium in Winnipeg. The NFL season is back, and TSN has your front row seat to the biggest matchups all season long. Get a 4-month pass for just $69.99. Subscribe now at tsn.ca/subscribe/NFL. The offer ends September 30th. That's just around the corner. Terms do apply. Take advantage of that.
Celebrities in the house. One of the original Blue Man Group right there, huh? One of the old timers.
That takes a lot of work to get ready for a game like that, doesn't it? Back to Brady again. A little bit of a stumble. Still got at least 3 yards on that carry.
Do you want to play? Do you want to play around the box? It's kind of hard when Kendall Randolph pulls around. You have a big offensive lineman pulling up around and trying to go ahead and get a hit on the linebackers. Really good run to create a nice lane for Brady to get 3 yards. 306 yards pulling at you, trying to hit you.
It's been all Brady so far on this one. He'll stand in to the right of Collaros here. 2nd and 7. Ticats show heat. Now they bring the heat. Collaros on the run, dumps it off, finds Brady, and now Brady's got a little bit of room. Takes it up to the 50. Still going. There's a flag. It's going to come back, I think, at midfield. Brady's still going. Down inside the 10. How they not wrap him up? What a play from Brady Oliveira when it looked like Collaros was going to be in trouble. But there are flags all over the place here.
So we think it's Ticats offside. So a hard count by Zach. Why are they changing their cadence up? There's so many different blitzes the Ticats have shown. They get the Ticats to jump off sides. I was actually, Dustin, saying, stop the play, stop the play. They're offsides. Don't hit the quarterback. They allow the screen pass to be completed. But I think we're going to have a holding call downfield on Wilson, negating a great run by Brady. But I like what they're trying to do. Change it up. As the Ticats try to show different pictures and try to get them, change your cadence up.
There's 2 penalties on the play. The first one is offside, Hamilton number 43. That penalty is declined. The second penalty is holding against Winnipeg number 80. We'll go back 10 yards from where the ball was held at the point of the foul, but it's a first down for Winnipeg.
All right, so it'll be Winnipeg's ball, first down, 10 yards back from where the penalty occurred.
Huge penalty that loses at least 30 yards of field position. Bombers were definitely in field goal range at least.
This ball has been placed on the 50. Nope, now they're going to back it up to the 40.
Okay, you'll see Wilson right there engaging. So you'll see at the end, Wilson now right there holds. He gets thrown down as he gets up, then he starts holding as Brady's about to run by.
This takes a big chunk of yards off the board for Brady Oliveira and the Bombers offense. Still a first down on their own 40. Dempsey turns outside the 50, first down Winnipeg. Fisher in on the tackle for the Ticats.
RPO, run pass option. Zach sees an easy throw that I don't want to try to run the ball into all those guys. If they play free access, which means somebody off on Dembski, I'm going to throw it to him. I don't care whether we called the run or not. Nice, easy first down on first down. The ability of Zach to pick the ball up, throw it out the laces. He talks about being a baseball player growing up, like as good as anybody I've seen in the league. Be able to just catch the ball, throw it accurately.
This time fakes it to Brady, has time down the field, drops it in there on the far side for Wilson. Wilson down to the 5, looking for the end zone. Touchdown, Winnipeg. Flag flies after the fact. Ruled a touchdown for the Bombers. They blow it wide open.
Pass, but Wilson's going to go in and then run a corner route. And as he does, Zamari, I believe they get caught up and can't find the underneath. I think it's Moxie, just gets his eyes in the backfield a little bit. They lose Wilson on the corner route. I'm not sure if this is going to be a touchdown. We'll see. It looks like he's down there. But really good play action pass by Zach, knowing he's got the throw to the wide side of the field to Wilson, makes up for the penalty by flipping the field himself.
Looked like he might be down at the 1. Strevler's walking out onto the field. Took them a while to rule it a touchdown in the first place. Let's find out what's going on.
Upon automatic review of a scoring play by the replay center, the ruling on the field is overturned. The ball carrier was down at the 1-yard line. It's going to be first down Winnipeg at the 1-yard line. After the play, we have offsetting misconduct penalties. Winnipeg number 80, Hamilton number 6. The result is first down at the 1-yard line.
That's Moxie and Wilson after the matter.
As you can see, as he's going, he's trying to extend the ball, but I believe he didn't get there in time and his body touched the ground at the 1-yard line. A little bit offset. Here's your offsetting penalties. Very.
Chris Strevler trying to push ahead, looking for the end zone. Got it. Touchdown, Winnipeg. They get there anyway. 6th rushing touchdown of the year for Strevler.
When you're first and goal from the 1, there's not a lot of other things you want to do. You want to put your quarterback under center, fall forward, let your offensive lineman be physical, and you got 3 downs to get 1 yard. Great push there, and Strevler just keeps moving his legs. Kolonkowski, Neufeld, created dent the defense. Easy touchdown.
Castillo puts another point through, and it's 26-3 in favor of the home Winnipeg Blue Bombers. A 7-play, 94-yard drive that took just under 3.5 minutes, and it's Strebler who gets the job done again for Winnipeg.
Key to scoring in the Canadian Football League is explosive football plays. Safety's going this way. A move inside. Jonathan Moxey gets caught. Moving inside, tries to get a jam, misses a jam. Now he's in a chase position. Zach sees it, throws to Wilson. Creates the explosive that puts the ball at the 1-yard line that leads to this 1-yard touchdown by Chris Strebler. Great response by the Bombers in the third quarter to blow this game open.
Winnipeg in full control. They are 5-1 in their last 6 games after a home loss. Looking to continue that trend here this afternoon. Wooden will take it on the 11th. Wooden running into some trouble just outside the 30. Chris Ike with the special teams tackle, and time for Bo Levi to crank this offense up a notch. Greg Bell, one of the bright spots in the offense in the opening half. He had 87 yards combined.
88.4 yards per run. He's got a 30-yard run. This guy's been really good down the stretch. This is going to be difficult. They're going to have to use him in the pass game more than running the football as they got to climb back into this game.
Bombers defense outstanding so far in this one. They'll send 3 here. Bo near side finds Bell. Hauls it in, and it'll be second and manageable after the short pickup.
This is what I really like about Greg Bell, Dustin. Like, this is a catch on the sideline that's not easy. It's away from his body. He's turning back to make the catch, and he does, close to the sideline. So some backs don't have the flexibility and the ability to catch the football. Watch this coming back. Gets 1 foot in bounds. Really good 4-yard gain for them to put them in second immediate.
They had been struggling. They've won 3 in a row, and he's been a monster in all 3 of those games. Is Greg Bell. Mitchell, far side. Keandre Smith wrapped up and taken down by Lawson. And this spot close to a first down.
I talked to Keandre Smith about this today. Kenny Lawler's outside of him. Kenny Lawler goes deep. The corner lifts with Kenny Lawler. Keandre Smith is underneath. So Kenny will go deep. Keandre Smith's going to come out in the flat. They're going to carry. Once they carry, throw it to Keandre. I said, you get a lot of those throws underneath. He goes, I'll take it. They keep doing that. I'll take it, coach. I'll get the underneath. Give me the ball, and I'll make them miss.
Three catches on the season for Smith coming into this one. Now they'll go back to Bell. Can he find a way through to the second level? Winnipeg will stand him up after he got about 5 yards on first down.
Trying to pull a couple of players to the point of attack of the defense. And again, it's very good that the Ticats believe so much in Greg Bell. There's a lot of time left. Keep running the football. Try to keep getting explosive plays from your run game.
They give him 6, so it's 2nd and 4. Just over 4 minutes to play, third quarter here at Princess Auto Stadium. Mitchell from the pocket lays it out there, and that is broken up by Nichols as he tried to find O'Leary Orange. And Dietrich Nichols had another idea.
Just making sure, and Winnipeg's not going to give you anything.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete catch. Incomplete catch.
The officials were trying to decide whether it was a catch or not. It was full incomplete. So if it was a catch, it would have been 3rd and 1. They probably would have gone for it. Dietrich Nichols gets involved. Good stop there by the Bomber defense. And again, at this point of the game, you're going to get zoned the entire game. It's going to be difficult. You're going to have to stay on the field. You're going to have to not drop footballs, not get behind the sticks. You're going to have to earn everything with a lead like this. Bombers just going to play zone all day.
Constantinu back into work, averaging just under 49 yards per punt this year. Hangs this one up there. Vavel will slide over. Takes it cleanly at the 10. Made one man miss and will get wrapped up and taken down along the near sideline by Braxton Hill on a beautiful Saturday afternoon in Winnipeg. Dylan Mitchell waited patiently for an opportunity this year to get in the lineup regularly for Winnipeg. Put together a really nice first half.
Yeah, nice touchdown early in the first quarter. Zach's got a couple underneath throws and zone to him. Talked about how many 3 catches, 67 yards. Now, coming into this game, 15 catches, 126 yards, 0 touchdowns. I read a note on every player. Not very productive in the system was my note for him. So this is great to see. You know, I know big free agent signing, like you said, but getting an opportunity and making some plays, being there for Zach in the zones.
With Carrick Weefall out after being hit heavily by Darius Pickett last week. Jarrett Stearns healthy enough to come back in, but still more opportunity maybe for Mitchell. Dembski, the only player with more receptions today. There's another one for Dembski as they'll throw it ahead to him. Driven back heavily at the end of the play by Fisher.
A little bit of a slot play, slot counter where you pull 2 people and give the ball to Dembski instead of the running back and let Brady Oliveira block, since those guys block all the time for Brady. And again, you can see the situational football with this lead. Zach snapped that football with 3 seconds on the clock. See, the Bombers are still in the huddle with 10 seconds left, so they're going to make things difficult, try to stay on the field, but take as much time off the clock with this big lead.
Brady stands in to the right of Zach. Polaris down the field. Dembski limited space, and he finds him inside the 40 before he's taken down by Katsatonis. Biggest play of the day for Dembski.
Upstairs, I'm looking, I'm seeing the Tiger Cats in man coverage, and I'm saying the ball's gonna go to Dembski. Here's a corner route with 2 hitches underneath, and all you do is see the leverage of the strong side linebacker. Stubblefield gets inside position. Zach sees the corner low, throws it outside. That is the throw that these 2 guys are so good at, so difficult to do. Stubblefield gets beat in man coverage on that difficult strong side linebacker position.
Kolaris has been taking shots downfield today. That one 46 to Dembski. Found Mitchell for 44. Found Wilson for 56. And now he's going to look for a big chunk again. Too much juice this time. Trying to find Stearns, working against Amos. Zach a little too much on that one.
Little play action pass, fake. As you see Zach right here, they're going to fake that little counter play they just ran to the slot. He's going to break contain, take the shot down to Gareth Stearns. Just misses it a little bit. You can see his frustration there.
So it'll be a 2nd and 10 from the Ticat 33. Winnipeg looking to move a game above 500 on the year. They sit at 7-7. Kolaris finds Brady. Bit of a screen set up, and Brady will take it down inside the 20 for a Winnipeg first down.
Nice job on the screen pass. You're going to get a kick player, you're going to get an alley player, and you're going to get a rat kill player. I love the rat kill, Dustin, in the screen game. So Brady's going to leave after a 2 count. You got a bunch of offensive linemen downfield blocking for you. Really good job and good safe call by the Bombers here.
Back inside the red zone for Winnipeg. 59% on the year coming into this game in there. It'll be empty for Kolaris. Rolls to his right, looking down the field, guns it in there. Flag flies as as he finds Clorsius, but a flag right at the end of that play.
I think we got a legal contact.
Legal contact on the receiver. Hamilton, number 8. The penalty is declined. It's going to be first down for Winnipeg.
First down for the Bombers, and Strebler back into the game with that ball at the 1.
Clorsius coming across the screen as Zach can't find anybody to the wide side of the field. He looks back. Great job by Clorsius running and getting in the line of vision of your quarterback.
Strebler again, touchdown Winnipeg, as they finish off the drive in the hands of number 17. And the route is on at Princess Auto Stadium.
Good push by Strebler on the wider wedge. You're gonna go a little bit wider outside, closer to your tackles and ends where the more defensive backs out there. Just find the crease, get up inside. Continue to build their lead. Nice drive at the end, but this really good drive by Zach and company.
Castillo pushes it up to a 30-point lead for the Bombers on the Ticats, who are currently first place in the East. Tough one today for them.
Big shot play versus man coverage. Get Nick Stensky on the corner route. Explosive plays leads to touchdown. Screen pass on 2nd and long. Get big yardage to Brady underneath. Then move the launch point, throw on the backside, put the ball at the 1-yard line for Strebler. Nice touchdown drive. And more importantly, this was a 6-play, 73-yard drive, 3:23 taken off the clock, and a touchdown.
The Ticats, so far this season, have outscored teams by 54 points in the 4th quarter. So they've been good there, but they'll have to be very, very good today to generate anything against Winnipeg. Looking maybe the best they've looked all season. Moxie and Wooden back to return the kick from Castillo. Wooden takes it just outside the 5. Spin move to the 30, and that's where he will be stopped in his tracks. And that'll do it for the 3rd quarter here in Winnipeg, where Bombers fans are loving it. Winnipeg well on their way to their 5th home victory of the season. It has been all Winnipeg Blue Bombers so far. They lead 33-3, and those 33 points are nice, but it's the 2 points that are looming for this team in the standings that are big.
Yeah, as a coach and players, you want to control your own destiny. And certainly the Bombers coming into this game, you didn't know whether they're out of the playoffs, whether they're going to host a playoff game. That could be all the way from 2nd out of the playoffs. So for them to show up at home, take care of business, get the win, allows them to keep controlling their own destiny for a home playoff game.
Trying to keep pace with the BC Lions, both the Lions and the Bombers. Assuming this result holds up, the Bombers and Lions are both within striking distance of the Calgary Stampeders, who have started to trend in the wrong direction. So the West
is undecided and a lot of football left to play.
Mitchell's 15 of 23, just 149 yards. All the time in the world here. Checks it down to Bell. And Bell will get about a yard working against Woodbay. We were talking a little bit earlier about the 4th quarter that the Ticats have put together so far this year, plus 54. Far and beyond anyone else.
Yeah, outscored in the CFL. They have 154 to 100. Give them a plus 54 turnover rate, so they scored a lot of points in this quarter. But time is going to be their issue. They're going to have to put a lot of points up. They're going to have to do it quickly.
Mitchell, near side, Tim White. He's wrapped up and taken down. And that'll be a third down and about 4 right now for Hamilton.
Bo looks, can't find it. You see how quickly he gets to his underneath check down. Tim White underneath. Positive yardage on this play, I believe, is what makes Hamilton decide we're going to go for it 3rd and 3, understanding how important time is left in this game.
Second catch of the game for White. Still just 1 for Kenny Lawler. 4 options out to the left for Bo. Goes over the middle, finds Lawler at midfield. Lawler broke 1 tackle and spins his way down to the 50 before he's taken down on the play.
Elite hand-eye coordination. Kenny Lawler's right there. If you watch him, just watch as he stabs this ball out of the air. Watch how quickly he sees it, the dig, and it's in front of him. No issue, catches it in stride, gets the extra yardage.
This time in the belly of Bell. And he'll take it down to the Winnipeg 45. He's closing in on 90 yards on the ground in this game.
Keep you honest, get a 7-yard, put you in 2nd and short. Injured Bomber. Tyrese Wilson.
Wilson, pretty good year for the Bombers right now. We'll step away as they take a look at him. The WN Playoffs presented by Google continues tomorrow with Game 4 of the semifinals as the Aces take on the Fever. Coverage gets underway at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific on TSN. Continue to look at Wilson on the sideline. Woodbay into the game next to Tony Jones at linebacker. 2nd and 5 for both. Lawler at the bottom of your screen. Mitchell looks to his left, throws to his left, finds Bridges. And they'll move the chains.
Smith will be the underneath player that's going to open up Bridges behind it. You'll see Smith right here go up, sit down. I call that a hitch bang. He hitches and then bangs it outside. Gets the Shamar Bridges open behind it. The easy completion. As Bo continues to go no huddle.
3 receivers, wide side right. Now Smith will slide in to protect for Bo. Bo looks, wants an end zone shot, lays it out there, trying to find Kenny. Too much. Lawler couldn't get there.
Another shot play. Kenny Lawler on the outside. Trying to make a double move here. They've got the double move. It's just a little bit too far off. They kind of missed probably the 3rd throw of this game for these 2 guys. Throw they'd like to have back.
Lawler has been targeted 8 times in this game, but has just 2 catches for 34 yards in a season where he's pretty much set career highs in everything. Second down, they still need 10. Mitchell lays it out there, a little high, but it's hauled in by Smith. Rated that first down marker. Houston and Woodbay on the tackle.
Nice concentration on the out route. Very similar again. Both throws this so quickly. Defensive back can't make the play. Driving it. Dietrich Nichols just can't make the play. It's a little bit high. Nice catch by Keandre Smith. Nice first down.
passing touchdowns on the year for Mitchell. Inside the red zone, they're 64% on the year. Dumps it off to Smith again at the 15. Cuts it back, looking for the 10. Will be stopped short. Evan Holm managed to hang on to him.
One of the things that helps the Ticats is that Ticats operate at the line of scrimmage, Dustin, as much as any team in the Canadian Football League. So you can see right here, this is old hat to them. What I mean, these guys are in no huddle all the time. So they can get up, get these plays called, get everybody on the same page in a loud environment. But the problem is Winnipeg's just going to keep forcing it, take these underneath throws.
Ticats haven't finished the drive all afternoon. Mitchell, end zone, wide open, and he misses Tim White.
One of the first times all game we have seen Winnipeg go to a blitz. They're now going to pressure the quarterback. Why? Because they're 10 yards from the end zone. To take a shot play right there. Force Bo to get the ball out of his hands. You see how quickly the ball comes out of his hands. Just misses Tim White on the touchdown.
Winnipeg crowd trying to keep Hamilton out of the end zone again. It'll be an empty look for Mitchell. Forward to the left. Throws, batted down. Bombers defense denies again. One of those types of days for the Ticats offense. Another trip to the red zone in which they come up empty. Saw it at the end of the first half. A knockdown, keeping them out there. Happens again. Well, another sellout crowd here in Winnipeg at Princess Auto Stadium. 12 in a row dating back to last season. 32-343, and they're in a good mood today, aren't they?
24 degrees today, beautiful sunny day, and just a packed house and crowd. And entertaining right from the start, right off the opening kickoff.
A bang from Vavel right on the opening kickoff, his 4th return touchdown of the year. Zach Collaros, 318 yards. That's his 3rd 300-yard game of the season, 38th of his career. Bo has 9 300-yard games this season. He's just at 212. Handed off to Brady Oliveira. This is usually Brady Oliveira time here. Less than 10 in the 4th quarter with a big lead. Might see a lot of Brady over the next little while.
We'll be rolling players in here, and 2nd and 5 is going to be a heavy run down the rest of the game.
Oliveira's at 64 yards. Back-to-back 100-yard games coming into this. He's got 3 on the year. He's never had 3 in a row. Might not get there today. It'll be a 2nd and 6 for Collaros. The Ticats looked like they
procedure. Winnipeg number 61. It's a 5-yard penalty.
Gabe
and
Wallace,
timer,
I think,
we're going to hold the clock.
Hard count
until
by
it's
Zach.
Drawn offside by Wallace. Or Wallace moved early.
Yeah, Gabe Wallace, left guard. Term I would always say to the lineman, hold your water when we go on 2. Hold your water. Understand we're going to go on a hard count here. Forces probably a definite throwing down now at 2nd and 10.
Wallace, a monster of a man, 6'6", 340. 2nd year out of Buffalo. 2nd and 10 for Collaros. They'll give it to Brady. Brady trying to rumble it ahead. And oh, he is close. Close, not there, but close to a 1st down.
Little way of running, different way of running a draw play. Just running like a shovel play. There's not enough people in the box. Drop back, pull the guard around, flip it to Brady on the shovel pass, the shovel draw for big yardage. Get you 9 yards, put you in position to do quarterback sneak.
3rd and inches. Strevler back into the game.
And you're going to trust 3rd and inches here. You say, well, you could just punt it with a big lead. You're going to trust that you convert 90% of the 95% of these. Get a big old line. Chris Strevler giving him the opportunity to get the first.
Strevler doesn't need much. And he's got it. That'll keep Winnipeg's offense on the field and milk more clock off this one for the Ticats, which at this point they might not mind anyway, down 30.
Yeah, as you see Mike O'Shea, their head coach of the Bombers. I talked to defensive coordinator Jordan Younger this week. I'm like, tell me about Osh 6 years in and working with him. And he the one thing he said is like, Osh does our core component is we're going to be a physical football team, and we're going to play the game physical. He hasn't forgotten those key things that we want to bring each week, and you can see it from this football team.
Strevler will stay in the game. First and 10 on the Winnipeg 23. Hand it off to Brady. See Strevler hustle ahead to try to get a block in there as well.
So I want to show you something that not many quarterbacks do. This is what you call a barbecue. I used to call it. The ball's going to spill here, and Strevler's going to go run and try to block the defensive end. He's going to try to block. Watch him right there. He's like running up to get a piece to help his running back get the ball.
You say you called that the barbecue?
Well,
you got a name for everything. I love all you got names for everything.
Well, Barb, man, the backside receiver block, barbecue. Quarterback's doing the backside barb. There you go.
Okay, there we go.
All right?
There we go.
Not to bore everybody watching this game.
I like learning that. I think that's funny.
But Strevler doing his best to try to help out block the defensive end.
Next time he does it, you know I'm going to be like, the barbecue for Lapo somewhere. Kalara's back in here, 2nd and 5, throwing down. And he finds a nice window. Perfect pass into the hands of Ontario Wilson. And Wilson takes it out to the Ticats side of the field.
Pressure from the field. You're going to see a sharp blitz. The Salmon halfback blitzing. Zach immediately throws opposite the blitz in the zone to Wilson. Big escape there, big first down. Great recognition of all the different pictures the Ticats defense is trying to slow down Zach. And great accurate throw.
Wilson just 3 yards shy of 100 in the game. This is the most he's had since returning to the lineup. This is his 4th game since rejoining the Bombers. He'll trot up to the top of your screen on a 1st and 10, and they'll get it to Dembski. Dembski held on to and thrown down on the play by Hubert. Dembski's had himself a day, over 100 yards. That moves him up from 9th to 7th today on the all-time receiving list.
I was fortunate enough to spend Coach Clarence Denmark on 2 occasions. Very good football player. We know Ernie Pitts was a great football player, and he's got a ways to go. And Terrence Edwards, another great player. There's some very talented receivers in this core, and obviously our own Milt Stiegel up there. So congratulations, Nick Dembski. Doing really good things as a multiple athlete for this team. Hometown boy.
Moving up a couple of spots on that list today. Got 7 yards, 3 more to Brady, right up the middle. Takes it down inside the 40. Here's a look at what Dembski's done today. 6 catches on 6 targets.
A lot of times in this defense was playing soft and gave Nick easy catches, and Zach just said, I'm just going to throw it, disregard what run play we have. Here's a little bit of his running ability as a running back, running a counter play. The one snap of man coverage, what do you do? Throw a corner out to Nick Dembski running away from Stubblefield. Just multifaceted. This is the deep ball player they want to get the ball to when it's man coverage. Zach's going to trust that he's going to be in the right spot for him, and you see it all the time on these deep shots.
Up to 7 catches for Dembski. Had 9 in one game earlier this year. Handed off to Brady. Takes it down inside the 30. Gang tackle there.
That's the difficult part about Brady Oliveira. Verisak was there, made the tackle for a 2-yard gain, but Brady's, with his strength, strong lower power, lower body, he dragged Verisak for an 8-yard gain.
We've hit 3 minutes in the 4th quarter in Winnipeg. All Bombers Bombers all afternoon. Week 17 in the Canadian Football League wraps up tonight. Riders and the Elks live from Commonwealth. It's the second half of our doubleheader. Get rolling at 7 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Mountain on TSN.
I can't wait to see Justin Rankin. Last week, this Hamilton defense held him 41 yards rushing. I can't wait to see what Justin does this week. In a bad mood after 10 carries, 41 yards.
On pace for a 1,000-yard season on the ground. Rankin. Strebler here on the second and short. Hands it off to Brady, who rumbles it down inside the 20.
No better feeling when you start with the ball backed up. Everybody in the stadium knows you're going to run the football, and you continue to create first downs and keep using your leg. You see Brady there. There is no hole. Brady's legs create the extra effort and the first down.
Brady now just a couple yards away from another 100-yard game.
And you said it earlier, that's an amazing stat for the first time in his career.
Strebler fakes the toss, takes it himself down inside the 10, and another first down for Winnipeg. Strebler coming in to
utilize your best players and distract your defense. They're going to fake a toss to Brady, but then pull two people and then get it up inside for Strebler. So you fake the toss, get everybody to flow in that direction, pull two people to the left. You can see the two pullers coming this way, and then Strebler follows them. They created the crease in the defense on the quarterback counter play, faking a toss.
First and goal for the Bombers. Less than 2 to go from the 8-yard line. Strebler fakes the handoff, keeps it, looking for the end zone, and he's there. A hat trick on the day for Strebler. This time from 8 yards out. And Winnipeg loving this beatdown of the Ticats.
The defensive, they're going to arc right here, and you're going to read what Strebler's going to read what the defensive end does, what Varasek does right here, and then all of a sudden you get yourself in a position where I can outrate. That was Owen Hubert, I'm sorry, where it outflanked the defense. Strebler uses his legs as they close on Brady. He runs in for the easy touchdown. Great response for Brady and Strebler.
Strebler and the Bombers doing whatever they want against the Ticats today. Chris Strebler, calm down a little bit now. I hear him say physicality, pushing his way in for his third touchdown of this season. And I'm going to declare this a Winnipeg victory. They're up 40-3. I think we're good there.
Very interesting to see how this plays out down the stretch. With it, obviously you get this crossover. You know, Winnipeg continues to put themselves in a position to be anywhere in this playoff mix. Home playoff game all the way to crossover. And this could this be crossover?
I mean, this could be. Let's see how the rest of the season shakes itself out. But I don't think it's unheard of that Montreal could track down Hamilton. And we'll see how this Calgary, BC, Winnipeg thing sorts itself out. So certainly a possibility.
And, you know, Winnipeg has been spoiled with how many first place finishes, but this whole Grey Cup, the Grey Cup started this organization with a third place finish. Don't forget that, right? Playing their best football at the end of the year. Zach Collaros, Chris Strebler, and a great defense taking the football away.
Powell into the game. He's got just a couple of touches all year. Hands it off to Johnny Augustine. As see his second team get a little bit of run here for the Ticats.
And, you know, if you go back to one thing I think about Winnipeg is, you know, the Bombers obviously took a lot of flack last week, winning with just 3 completions. Hey, they've got an opportunity. Chris Drevler came into this game and helped them in a number of different ways, completed a pass. So, you know, finding a role that fits him is going to help them down the stretch.
And off to Augustine again. Runs out of room. Let's take another look at those standings. They'll be updated with that Winnipeg win now. So Winnipeg 8-7, BC 8-7.
Yeah, and certainly, obviously, Calgary, you know, has had a couple of missteps the last couple of weeks, so that puts everybody in a position like, hey, I can catch and get that home playoff game.
That one on third down.
Jay Pearson, nice tackle there on the edge.
Doesn't look like it's going to be enough. Oh, they do give him a good spot, and they will say it is indeed a first down.
And Dustin, the other thing for the Bombers, you know, winning games comes to them winning the turnover margin plus 1 turnover margin to win the football game. Consistent once again.
Here's Powell. A little bit too much for Ternowski. So for Hamilton, Papa, what's it like coming off a loss like this? Still first. Get Toronto next week. You just sort of wash this one away, or how do you approach this one?
You learn what you can learn from, and you have an understanding like, hey, listen, we can still control our own destiny, what we need to do. We can still control everything. Learn from the mistakes of this game and just get ready to play Toronto.
Far side, looking for Bridges. Winnipeg will have a bye, and then we'll visit Edmonton to pick things back up. They're up 40-3, so it's not a crazy stretch, but both sides of the ball, I'm not sure Winnipeg has looked this good this season.
Special teams, a couple big returns.
Bouncing around the pocket, and just take a slide. One other time this season the Ticats had less than 10 points in a game. Put 9 on the board against the Riders out in Saskatchewan. So the Prairies have not been kind to the Ticats so far this year. They've owned the East, though. They're 5-1 versus the East. Be 4-5 here against the West after this one.
Yeah, for the Ticats, you know, won 6 games to start the season, had some losses. They had won 3 in a row coming into this. They'll take this loss, and you know, this was the first time since 2019 this Ticats team was trying to upset the Bombers and win the season series. Finished 1-1 against these Bombers.
Streaky team, the Ticats. They lost 2, then won 6, lost 3, and then won 3. Loss here, and they'll try to make sure this doesn't turn into a losing streak down the stretch.
See Johnny Augustine, former Winnipeg Blue Bomber. You know, there's 16 players on both clubs. Was a stat we saw this week. 16 different players that played on both the Ticats or the Bombers, starting all the way from Zach Collaros, but obviously, rest in peace, Ted Gavaya brought a lot of players when he went to Hamilton.
Augustine again involved. Here's the list of the 16 guys left. Collaros, Castillo, Sales, Lawson, Garbutt, Laggio, Cole, Dobson, Dolagala, Wolatarski, Fox, Augustine, Kenny Lawler, Hubert, Zott, and Brandon O'Leary-Orange.
Yeah, and that's what happens when a personnel guy leaves one organization to the other. He sees value in guys that he believes can help his football team.
O'Leary-Orange again. Going to do it, an absolute beatdown from the Bombers against the first place Ticats out east. Is Winnipeg back? Who knows?
Zach Collaros, 20 of 25, 80%. 370 yards, 0 interceptions. Big win for the Bombers. Starting out with that Ontario Wilson. Starting out with Trey Vavel, huge kickoff return for a touchdown to get this crowd going. So huge day for the Bombers. Great job defensively. Let's not forget that, holding this offense to 3 points.
The tone was set by Trey Vavel, as Lapo mentioned. Big return to start this game, straight to the house. Collaros took it from there, and the defense kept the Ticats bottled up for the entire afternoon. When it's all said and done, Bombers 40, Ticats 3, a very convincing victory for Winnipeg. Let's send it back to the panel in Cape.